Hello and welcome to WorkWise OnContact CRM training. Today we're going to learn about the import feature. We will go through the steps of importing a file that contains contacts, companies, and information related to those, like phone numbers, addresses, and titles. We will look at predefined templates and how they can be used to simplify the import process. To start off, the import utility is located in the Setup area under Miscellaneous. Note the Setup icon is only accessible if the Setup and Maintenance group is assigned to your CRM login. User group assignment is managed on the User Edit page, also located in the Setup area. When you open the import utility, you will be presented with a list of templates which are predefined mappings that match many common import files. Sample Excel spreadsheets that match those templates can be found on our install DVD in the Import Samples folder. If you don't have those files for any reason, please contact our call center and we will send the sample files to you. These files are guides that can be used to match your import file to one of our import templates, and doing this will make importing your file as easy as a few mouse clicks. For this video, we're going to work with the Contact Import with Company template, which has a mapping for contacts and companies where there are many contacts per company. This is the most popular import template. Here is a list of all supplied templates and the data they're mapped to. The company import is used when your file contains only companies. The contact import is used when your file contains only contacts. Use the company import with contact template when your file has companies and contacts and there is one contact per company. The contact import with company template is for files that have companies and contacts where there are many contacts per company. The user import is great when there are a large number of users to be added, like a user export from a legacy system, for example. Note these templates are all based on Microsoft Excel version 2007 or higher and have a header row which helps when mapping columns. Data can also be imported from comma-separated, tab-delimited, or pipe-delimited text files. For this training, we'll import a data file that exactly matches our contact import with company template. This will give us a very simple import and eliminate the need to map columns, which we will look at later in this video. So the steps are, number 1, pick a template that matches your data. As mentioned previously, we'll use the Contact with Company template since it matches our data file. Clicking a template will open the import file page. From here, click the Select File button on the right and choose your import file. Note this file must not be opened in any other program or the import will not be able to load it. Next, click the Load button, which will load and display the first few rows of your data file in the preview window toward the bottom of this page. If everything looks good, click the Next button, which will open the mapping page. Columns that have a green checkbox next to them are mapped correctly to columns in the database, and no changes or adjustments to column mapping are necessary. If all of the columns map correctly, like in our example, click the Next button, which opens the Run page. Click the Run button to actually import the data. Once all of the data in the file is imported, the Review page will open indicating how many records imported successfully. In addition, there are several options available on the Review page that can be used to work with the newly imported data. Create New Marketing Campaign adds a new marketing campaign and assigns the imported data as targets to the campaign. The Open List Page option will select the new records and open a list page that shows the newly imported data. The same options on search pages are available here, including mail merge, email merge, workflows, and so on. Delete newly inserted rows will remove the newly imported data from the database. This will not delete any other data, only what was just imported. Note these options must be used before closing the import page or logging out of OnContact CRM. Now let's take a look at how to work with a data file where the columns can't be lined up exactly with one of our templates. One option would be to start from scratch and build a new import. This is easy to do, although it could take some time. A better option might be to adjust your data file to match one of our existing sample files as closely as possible, use the corresponding import template, and then manually map any columns that don't line up. So let's say we do this and wind up with a few extra columns. The first few steps of the import process will be the same as our first example, except when this file is loaded, you will see a warning indicating some of the columns are new and mapping doesn't exist for those columns. Click Yes to dismiss the warning, then click Next to open the mapping page where you will see a red X next to the new columns. This means those columns are not mapped to a column in the database, and therefore the data in those columns will not be imported. To resolve this, click one of the unmapped columns on the left-hand side, and then click the Click to Define option. You will be presented with a list of CRM columns to map your data to. Pick the correct database column and then click OK. Do this for each unmapped column, and once they are all properly mapped, the remaining steps again will be the same as our first example. At any point after doing this, the import can be saved or saved as a new import so that the mapping process doesn't have to be repeated. After that, the remaining steps are the same as our first example. Starting from scratch is very similar to mapping extra columns. The only difference is you would have to map every column and not just a few. This concludes the OnContact CRM import training video. Today we learned how to find and open the OnContact CRM import utility, looked at our predefined templates and how they can help with import mapping, went through the steps of importing a simple data file, and finally explored some useful options for working with the newly imported data. Thank you for your attention. Feel free to contact us at any time with questions, issues, or suggestions via the chat feature built into OnContact CRM, or by phone at 1-800-227-9594, or email callcenter@workwiseinc.com.